What to do when you have a little bit of spare time at the races? You take possession of a quad bike and go for a hoon, I guess. One man who has been on his bike, in his car and on a plane to be here tonight is Mark McNamara. Good evening, Mark.
G'day, DA boys. Nice to be here, and a bit of a story out of that quad bike incident too.
Is there?
Yep. We had a narc ring Awapuni, complaining they weren't wearing helmets. Now, to the narc that rang, they were told get off the bike as soon as they were seen not wearing helmets, going 2 miles an hour. They were going to get them up to the patch, the jockeys, Vanessa and Rosie. That was the problem at the 600 metre mark. When they saw them on the bike, they got them off, locked them in the boot instead because it was a lot safer.
Yeah, indeed. Good day at Kumara on Saturday, wasn't it?
Great day. 7,400 people there, 387,000 in turnover on course, which equates to about $52 punting per person.
That is outstanding. Real good. Let's have a look at the Gold Nuggets. It was the feature, obviously, race number 8 on the program, and a richly deserved win here to Red Ripper for Kenny and Lisa Ray and Jamie Bates. Beautiful
Ride, Jamie Bates. He pinched this in front, and El Chico, Michael Pittman and Chris Johnson, they played the race out perfectly. They rode him forward, Butch. Red Ripper just too good. This was a gem of a ride by Jamie Bates, who incidentally is finishing up in New Zealand. Champions Day is his last ride for the time being. He's going to move to Victoria, freelance at this stage. Not going to target the city, but just wants to see how he gets on. So good luck to him. Really good rider.
Yeah, good on him. Having a go, no doubt about that. Look, he did steal the race. Super ride. Kenny and Lisa Ray, they love campaigning horses down your way. They've always got a bit of a satellite team by the looks down there, and this bloke's done most of his racing in the South Island, even though it says he's trained at Ruakaka, and yep, I'm sure they celebrated well. Good pukina too.
Oh, it was outstanding.
He'd be able to learn from Michael Walker in Victoria how to do it properly.
Good long one. He's off to the Wellington Cup too, Red Ripper.
Yep.
Is he?
Yep.
Geez, just a tip. Maybe not ideal for him. Another front runner. We're just talking just a tip and lead his own way in front to get the trip, and that horse there, he leads nearly every time he goes round, doesn't he?
Yep. On his way home, they're going to call in, and
that won't help him.
You talked about Kenny and Lisa Ray. They're great stalwarts of the coast circuit, but so too Sean Cameron and the Shores in recent years, and they all get due success as well.
They do indeed, and the Pittman team are over there, the Stokeses go, Ladder, they come from everywhere to race on the coast, and the hospitality would be part of the reason why. But Kenny and Lisa Ray, I don't know how much time they spend in Ruakaka. They seem to be in Canterbury all the time.
They get to win the races that Kevin doesn't, because he gets about half of them.
Yeah,
pretty true too.
We'll talk about Kevin. Of course, he was the successful trainer of the Open Sprint. It was a case of Skipolo on form should be returning to the winners' enclosure, and he did, but only just.
He's come from a long way back to win this. It's not a long run home. There's the 200 there just after they straighten up. Snowline, last 50 metres again was the issue with the grey, and Charlotte O'Byrne, she didn't panic. Second riding double, timed it perfectly. I wasn't sure she'd got up on the line. Yeah.
Didn't panic, you don't
reckon? Didn't panic. No. Calm, cool. Kevin might have, but she knew where the winning post was, despite the fact it was probably her first ride at Kumara.
I reckon Skipolo knew where the winning post was. I'm tipping she was panicking at the 50.
She might have been like a duck, very much above the water, no panic, but underneath I'm picking she was starting to get butterflies and things.
Correct.
Speaking of Kevin, 6 wins at a moto, 4 wins Reefton, 5 at Kumara on the weekend. Having a field day.
Hokitikka's not done yet. Skipolo's not going to Hokitikka. He may go to the Timaru Stakes upcoming over the 1400. Now, of the runners at Hokitikka, if you're doing form, this is what I can ascertain. Cheesemaker's likely to go around, but is a dual acceptor. Duchess of Cambridge is likely to go around, but is a dual acceptor. Golden Lure, who is very good on debut, probably not going. But that is Kevin's world, so it might be there. Our Alchemist, dual acceptor, likely to be there. Same with Pat Cake, and not sure about Steel Fix at this stage.
Who gave you the information on Kevin's horses?
Ken Harrison.
I was going to say.
How good was that in the last? That's just absolutely killed them over the river.
Yeah.
And he's used the claim to good effect with Charlotte O'Byrne, doing a good job.
Nice little salute too. I like the little celebrations, all in check, no fines, like nothing for the Christmas party for the Stripes.
Just as such an iconic race day, isn't it? I mean, if you haven't been to Kumara for the Nuggets, it's a bucket list race day, isn't it?
Greymouth is packed. The hotels are packed the night before, and there's buses that come over, and they didn't breath test on the way into the track this year. It was one of the first times I've ever seen anything last year, driving in. they were checking the drivers and with the new lower alcohol limit driving in at 10 o'clock in the morning. If you're not that early, well,
she's a big old week.
you deserve to get done.
It's a big old week, though, isn't it?
Huge.
Jeez.
And it was fine, didn't rain.
No, beautiful day.
Yeah.
And talking to the jockeys, they said the track was absolutely perfect, which
Great.
was something we need to hear.
All right, let's move on to Ellerslie from the weekend and the feature race there, the Open 1200, where Butch Shelford finally got a draw and he struck a small field to boot.
Yeah, look, he's a pretty good racehorse, Shelford. He showed it in Australia. He raced in some very good company. He'd just been plagued by horror draws, and Pikey sort of threw his toys a bit in the end and scratched him a couple of times. Didn't want him punching around from the bad draws. He got the cosy run, and look, he had it parcelled up a wee way from home. He's a stallion still. He didn't turn the stick on him because he was doing his best anyway. And yeah, look, he's got a nice race in him somewhere, I think, Shelford.
Yeah, he'll take a lot of confidence out of that, I think. I mean, he doesn't like winning often, does he? I mean, that was his, 19 starts now, 3 wins. It's taken him a long time to get one on the board. But I know you see he's been plagued by bad draws and that, but when those stallions start missing that often, they can tend to have a think about things and learn not how to win.
Yeah,
But,
that will do him the world of good.
Yeah, for sure. But hopefully he can go on with it.
All right, earlier in the day we saw the bookie beater romp home in the first, McQueen, and this of course for trainer Jim Collett and daughter Samantha, and well, this was a really good effort, Butch.
Yeah, I watched this race with Jim Collett, actually came and watched it in the office, and he was worried down the side that he was off the bridle. He keeps saying that this horse wants to go a lot further than the 1,500 metres it was on Saturday. He wanted to duck in behind the McKee runner, but once he got into the clear air, he wanted to roll in again. Yeah, look, he might be all right, I think. I think he's a pretty good horse.
He's all right, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
And JC knows how good he is too. And yeah, I mean, no one will do a better job with a good horse than him. He's a very astute horseman. That horse, he's got a lot of improvement in him, isn't he? He's a big loping, strong, big striding horse, and he's got a lot to learn. And the further he goes, the better he'll get. And he's on a derby prep, as you said earlier, I think, Mark. So it'd be good for JC and good for Sam if she can retain the ride.
So he's Hong Kong owned,
Correct.
and most of these horses that Jim prepares for this outfit get up there quickly, but it appears that they might leave this one with him through race by race towards the TV3 New Zealand Derby, and he'll be a worthy competitor.
Yeah, more wordy will. I mean, he's obviously got to keep improving, but he looks like the style horse that will.
Next stop, Waikato Guineas for him. St Emilion might head to the Dunedin Guineas, possible yet to be confirmed. And Dartmoor will run on Karaka Million's night in a 1,600 metre maiden. They put the blinkers on, weren't overly keen on leading on the weekend and hoping the blinkers might help.
All right, let's move on to race number 3. This was the Open 2100, and in this we saw odds-on favourite Graphic beaten Butch. Yes, he had weight to carry, but I thought maybe he was a bit disappointing.
Oh, I thought it was a hell of a good ride on Delvine. Lee Megorian, he's much improved. He never covered any ground. He snuck up, got up the inside of the other one that was weakening, and she's been able to sprint off a dime late in the race. Graphic's gone okay. He'll appreciate the 5 kilo drop in the Wellington Cup. Big difference for him.
Yeah, big difference. So he had a cosy run though. There was a good tempo in the race, and I hope you give him a lovely ride and sort of present it at the right time. And yeah, I don't know, I was concerned.
On his Zibiel Classic run, he should have been winning.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the last part of the race was his worst part. I would have been before Saturday going into Trent, into the Cup. You'd be thinking he's unbeatable, wouldn't you? But now there's certainly reservations.
Yeah, I
over
wouldn't
it.
be worried out of Saturday. I wouldn't be worried.
You're going to back what? You'll win the Cup?
I'll be happy to back him in the Wellington Cup.
Will he win the Cup?
No, I'll back him
Will
in
he
the
win the
Wellington
Cup?
Cup. I don't know that he'll
is he in
win.
your
Are you going to
stable?
back him each way, or are you going to back him to win? Tell me.
No, I'll back him to win.
Righto, he's going to win the Cup. There you go.
I don't get it right all the time, Twiggy.
Get that on the tape. Yep, Delvine is heading to Wellington for the Trentham Stakes and then maybe back up for the Auckland Cup after that.
Okay.
Geez, it was a good ride.
Was very
Yeah,
good.
Good ride.
very good ride.
And he has really improved, that Lee Megorian. He really has. He's done a good job. He presents himself well now. He's
On and off the track.
He has. He's
Yep.
he's a
And he still claims 2, doesn't he?
2
Yep.
kilos.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's a much improved rider, and he's really good on the ground now too.
Yep.
On to race number 3, make that 4 on the card. This was the Pearl Series race for the 2-year-olds, and the winner was Bella Court, Lisa Ladder and Mark Duplessis combining here. First look at Ellerslie, you have to say, Butch, pretty impressive.
Yeah, super impressive. She was really, really good. Look, she's sort of on the wrong leg there. She's wanting to run out, then she's unbalanced, but the last little bit of her race, she's still sort of hanging, and when he was able to get at her, look at her flatten there. She chopped legs and went whoosh. She was really good. Lisa's done this before. She's brought a horse up and won this race, and then Fort Lincoln, the Karaka Million. So important that they have a look around Ellerslie. She'll be better for that. If she can get her to the race, she's going to be very competitive.
I think it shows the importance of a jockey that can use a stick in both hands there. I mean, that horse would never have won that race if Mark didn't swap the stick to the left hand, straighten her up, you give her one behind the saddle, she got a fright, straightened up and attacked the line. And like you say, she's impressive now, and she'll head to the Karaka Millions.
Makes Strata Lady look all right, doesn't it?
That's outstanding form, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
James McDonald for Strata Lady too, so that'll help.
Yep.
She was apparently a little shin sore leading into that race on Saturday too. Lisa's at yearling inspections today, so she wants to get the saddle back on her before any further decisions. And the second one, O'Diane DA, at this stage Karaka Millions, but a confirmed decision by the end of the week.
Okay, thank you. The last one we just want to touch on briefly, Butch, LA Eagle, just continued on his winning way.
Yeah, he did. That 3 in a row for Pikey. What was that, 3 or 4 in a row for this horse? I think he has a bit of time now to freshen and might be headed towards a race like the Manco Easter off the bottom, I would think. Yep, he's come to it good, this prep, LA Eagle. He's always had the latent ability, and the penny's starting to drop.
Yep, he was good that also. He was very, very fierce in the run. Like Rory popped off 3 wide on a couple of occasions because he was getting on heels, and he was, gee, I don't know about him getting a mile. Very concerned about him getting a mile. He was fierce throughout, but he was a class above them. That's where he got away with it. Maybe in a Group 1 mile, they might get a bit of tempo for him where he can relax a bit. But Rory does a great job on him. He's 5 from 5 now. He's unbeaten on him.
10 days off for him. And then the Easter handicap, his target. Second horse agent Ziva to Heranikau for fillies and mares on the 6th of February. Karen will decide on possible lead-ups in the coming days. And 50 Shades of Grey, just thought I'd touch on this one. Andrew Scott said to Rapa for a 1400 metre rating 85 on one of the 2 days. And Michael Coleman said it's going a lot better than what it might have looked there on the weekend.
Okay, thank you. Just before we wrap up Ellerslie, jockey Danielle Johnson, Butch, in a bit of strife?
Yeah, look, an improper riding charge, which is not good for anyone. She's on chip and chase in the last. She looks to get pushed out 3 wide there, and from this point on, it's probably not the best vision in the world there, but she looks to get Sir Sunny back down to the fence, I think. And so this was opened and adjourned after the last on Saturday. Mark Sweeney on Sir Sunny wanted to be one off. Danielle obviously didn't want to be trapped 3 wide, and yeah, look, not good.
The steward's vision wasn't released.
It was after it was the last race, and I think because of the seriousness of the charge, like an improper riding charge is a very serious charge.
That's not good. That goes,
have we got a hearing date or anything? Do you know?
No, I'm not sure when they'll pull it together. It'll be important to Danielle to get it heard at the right time, because she's got some big engagements coming up.
My word, yeah. Oh, Craig Grill's appeal was dismissed too, wasn't it?
No change.
No change. We got a $250 fine for costs.
Yeah.
And Sam Collett's appealing her suspension.
Correct.
Okay. All right, let's go to the racing desk. Stephen Hunt's with us. Steve, good evening.
Evening, Daryl. Evening, lads.
G'day, Steve.
Let's have a bit of an update from, obviously, the wash-up of the weekend's racing with a view to a couple of the features at Wellington. The Thorndon Mile market, first of all, what are the changes there?
Mighty Solomon, after its super win, I thought it was probably the win of the day for the Martin Jockey Club at Alpurnie on Saturday, winning the Open 1400. The way it did it, coming off speed, was very hard to do and win on Saturday. So Mighty Solomon's been the big move, DA. You could have got $9 on Saturday morning or leading up to the event. It's now $5 equal favourite with Ponderosa Miss, which we'll see the option very shortly. Notably, Ponderosa Miss is still not nominated for the Group 1 mile in a couple of weeks' time, but late noms don't close until next Tuesday, which is the 20th of this month. So both of them now to $5 equal quote. Puccini and Diadem at that second line of betting at $7. Nashville with a senior jockey aboard will be the big improver, I thought, coming out of Saturday's run in behind Mighty Solomon. So we've still got that at a nice each way quote of $10. And then a few other horses there from the north, Sancerre, Silverdale, have been quite well supported in the last 7 days at $14. But the big mover over the last 7 days definitely has been Mighty Solomon, 9 into 7, Daryl.
Okay, what was your take on Graphics' run at Ellerslie, and what changed the Wellington Cup market?
Yeah, I thought Graphics' run was pretty good. I think a lot of people out there are probably talking out of their pockets, knowing that it closed at around about $1.80 final field bet on Saturday. But going into this event, I think dropping 5 kilograms from 59 to 54, knowing what horses are above it and the horses that have to give it weight, really does look value to me at $5. And to be honest, Daryl, in the last 2 or 3 days, it has been the best back runner. So a lot of people haven't been put off considering its failure to a lot of people's eye on Saturday. Maygrove's been a rock solid at that $6 price. That's what it was paying Maygrove before it's second on Saturday. I thought it didn't lose any admirers on Saturday, running second to Just the Tip. Just the Tip, the winner of the Martin Cup, was a price at $12 leading up to that event, has come into that single figure quote of $9. So that's probably been the notable mover, as has Red Ripper, who was around about $41 prior to the Gold Nuggets victory, is now a $26 price.
Okay, the Levin Classic is one of 2 Group 1s on the first day this weekend. How's that market shaping up?
Yeah, horses have been coming out left, right and centre, Daryl. We're lucky to get a full field come Saturday. Look, Sardage just keeps tumbling in, not on the way to money, but just on the number of withdrawals we've had in the last 7 to 8 days. Now a $3 price. You could have got $12 a few months back, and probably was as high as $10 even about 3 weeks ago prior to the Christmas New Year carnival at Ellerslie. Hooker Eagle at $4.50. Rock Fast, from all accounts, pretty iffy running in this race and might wait to Karaka Million Night at a $6 price. Taking the Liberties had a lot of support in the last 10 days, Daryl. Could have got around about $10 this time last week. It's now at $6. And then you even go down to Galtier, Abbey Road, Saturn Ridge, who did win notably yesterday at Hawera. There are a few maiden runners that could take their place in the Group 1 event this Saturday.
Thanks, Steve. Steve Hunt there from the racing desk. Of course, the other of the Group 1 races on Saturday is the Telegraph Handicap, and I believe Sam Clipperton, looking at social media, has been engaged to ride Trepidation for that. Okay, we're a couple of days obviously into the new year, and some of us have already broken our New Year's resolutions, so we thought we might take the opportunity to look ahead instead of look back and get the boys to predict what they think may or will happen in 2015 in the racing circles. Butch, what do you reckon?
I think Savabeel will continue his inexorable march towards taking over from his father Zabeel, both on the racecourse and through the sale ring. I expect him to have a massive cracker.
What about you, Twiggy?
I think Noel Harris will become the oldest jockey in the world to win a Group 1 race. He will surpass the mighty Lester Piggott. Harry only needs one more to do so, and he will hold that title. So good luck to him. I hope he does it, because it'll be a good party afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's, 60 this week, isn't he?
Yep.
Next week?
Yep.
This week. What about you, Mark?
Had a lot of time to think driving over the weekend, DA, about this one. Ellerslie will get lights by the end of the year. And we'll announce Auckland Greyhounds moving into race in the middle, and Karaka Millions in 2016 will be a dual code kicking off at 7 o'clock. With the Thrilling Butcher Grandstand, the new naming rights to the grandstand as well.
You've not been drinking while you're driving, have you?
No, I don't drink and drive, you lower limit.
You're not allowed drugs either. So.
Happy to be tested if you'd like.
Okay, so there's the racing predictions of 2015. What about what we've learnt, Butch?
What we've learnt, money makes the game go round. Look, we saw on the Gold Coast the sale up something like 18% with gross receipts, and a lot of that to do with the money that's been put into it by both Racing Queensland and the Queensland Government. Just shows when there's a will to get those stakes up. It's a $10 million race day into the future, the Magic Millions, and that amount of money has engaged people to get involved, and we saw the benefits of it to the Magic Million sale.
What about you, Twiggy? What have you learnt this week?
I think that we need to seriously consider bringing back the spurs, for jockeys to wear spurs. I just think they're used in the equestrian scene all over the world. They're used at the Olympic Games, which is the elite level. and millions of viewers watch the Olympic Games. They use them in Australia, so Melbourne Spring Carnival, they've got them on. Again, millions of viewers. They're a great aid for a jockey. They're not there to hurt the horse. They're a safety aid, I believe. They help jockeys steer horses, and I think it's due time that we bring them back. I think there's a place for them.
Okay, thank you. What about you, Mark?
I might get an ass kicking for this, DA, but scheduling on trackside 1 and trackside 2. Sunday, very good. Hawera on trackside 2, the trot's on 1 and the dog's on 1. Friday, very good, but Saturday. Can we keep the 3 New Zealand meetings on the one channel with the feature meeting from Australia? Sydney was an abysmal meeting on Saturday. Kamara got punted to 2. 387,000 they bet on course at Kamara. It's the biggest gripe I hear at the racecourse.
I was sick of changing channel.
It's the biggest gripe I hear from people at the racecourse. They just want to make it. We should be making it easy for people. If I get in trouble, so be it.
You can't have My Sky. What's the point of having My Sky? You can't record them.
But it needs to be said. And while I'm going, Ross, please just release the vision if it happens again. You make the decision. I was getting cranky out in the back room. Now I'm going to go before I get in too much trouble.
You better go. Thanks for coming in.
See ya.
See you next time. You're with Weigh In. We're back with